Hello and welcome back to our second segment of Happenings on the Hill for March 2022. Again, Pat Patterson, Principal and Head of School, and I'm joined this afternoon with Nikki Lieber. She is our Dean of Faculty, and before I kind of turn the mic over to her and ask her some questions to share with you, I wanted to do a little bit of bragging on Miss Lieber. Miss Lieber has 18 years with Roanoke Catholic School, working with a variety of students, not only from our elementary, middle, and high school in her current capacity as the Dean of Faculty, but specifically in second and third and fourth grade as a teacher. And those of us that are lucky enough to have had her teach our kids, we know just how much she loves our children, how much she loves Roanoke Catholic School, and how much she loves our faith. Anybody that has given 18 years to one place is a real testament to their love and dedication. That doesn't come easy. It's a real sacrifice to be a leader on campus, and I think Dan, Nikki's husband, who has been a stalwart supporter of hers for years and years, would tell you that he absolutely champions her efforts here at Roanoke Catholic and champions their faith. And they celebrate Mass at Our Lady of Perpetual Help in Salem, which was one of the connections we had to Father Danny on our earlier segment today. And Dan and Nikki have two children. Abby is in the 8th grade and Zachary is in our EL program. So not only does she understand the demands of being a parent, like all of us, but she also understands the demands that are on our faculty, who many are also parents, and all the important things that come along with that. Nikki is working on her Master's of Educational Leadership at Longwood University and should be completing that sometime in 2023. She has been a fantastic stalwart supporter of that program, as her undergraduate is from that institution as well. And it really is not an easy thing to be a full-time mom and a full-time administrator and a full-time college student. And she's pulled that off with grace and charm, and we're thrilled that she was willing to step up and take on those additional duties. As the Dean of Faculty, Nikki really serves as the Chief Academic Officer for our school. And she serves as the liaison not only between administration and the faculty, but all of our parents and our constituents and our leadership in Richmond. So with that introduction, let me say welcome.
Thank you.
And also start with the first question that we typically get from parents, which is, how do I know that my child at Roanoke Catholic in the 3rd grade is getting a comparable education to a child in Roanoke City, Roanoke County, and or for that matter, kids in the diocese in Tidewater?
So I think the big thing to understand is that we have a consensus curriculum, and that is made up of all of the standards that we feel are important for each content area that your student is going to be learning. So every 5 years, we as educators gather within the diocese to update that document. And that document is really just a guide for our educators. It's not a pacing guide. It doesn't tell them how to teach it, when to teach it, but it tells them what we need taught. And we look at the state standards, we look at the national standards, and then we look at best practices, those that are in the field doing it day in and day out. What will be the best? And so we do that on a 5-year cycle, and we are getting ready to roll out math and language arts and technology next year, and we will move on to some new content areas the following year.
Outstanding. And along with that consensus curriculum, I think it's important, as Ms. Lieber mentioned, that parents understand that our faculty are the ones that create this curriculum. So, we have always believed that you hire the very best people and set them free to be masters of their craft, and part of that is allowing them to have a voice in what curriculum is taught and how it's delivered. And I think you're right, because we're not mandated by pacing guides and SOLs and benchmark testing like our public school friends. We really do have that autonomy and that flexibility to get into the core content of teaching, whether it's an elective course or a core content course, and really let the teachers explore and be masters of that. So that's wonderful. I know we've spent a lot of time kind of shifting gears to the secondary level of really looking at ways to make value addeds for our families. And one of the ways that we've done that is to expand our dual enrollment offerings. For those people that aren't familiar, maybe they have children in the elementary school or middle school and they're just not familiar with dual enrollment, what is that and why is that important for Roanoke Catholic?
It's a great question. So dual enrollment is different than what you may have heard of when you hear of AP classes. Many of our public school friends and even us offer some AP classes where they take a course and they take an exam at the end and they have to score a certain grade in order to get credit for that. Dual enrollment is a little bit different. So it's done through a college or a university, and it's done as a partnership, and they earn college credit in addition to high school credit on their transcript here at Roanoke Catholic. So we have a couple partnerships that I'd like to highlight. In the business world, we have a couple business offerings with Mary Baldwin. This year we have a new partnership with Virginia Wesleyan, and that is in the education world. So we have a Foundations in Education class being taught this year. At Virginia Western, we have a partnership there where we have dual enrollment government being offered to our seniors. And then lastly, at Richard Bland, we have a partnership for Spanish. So all of our Spanish classes beginning at year 2 and beyond are dual enrollment through Richard Bland.
Wow, and I think that's really impressive because we're having more and more students graduate with 20 plus college credits before they ever leave Roanoke Catholic. And when you figure that you earn on an average like 15 college credits a semester, 30 a year to graduate with 120 in 4 years, I mean, it's possible that some of our kids are graduating with a whole year done before they ever graduate from Roanoke Catholic. So that's wonderful. Recently we had a meeting with our friends at Roanoke College, Dr. Brenda Pogendorf, whose daughter graduated from Roanoke Catholic in 2015. She serves, of course, as their vice president and dean of enrollment and financial aid. She expressed some interest, right, in having some conversations.
She did. So with dual enrollment, we are really looking to have that evolve over all of our content areas. So I highlighted a couple of partnerships we already have. So with Roanoke College and Dr. Pogendorf, we are focusing first off on English. So it's our hope going forward that we are going to be able to offer some dual enrollment courses for either our juniors or juniors and seniors in the content area of English. And then once that hits the ground running, hopefully we can add to that and maybe head on over to math, maybe even science, and really make sure we have dual enrollment offerings in all of our content areas.
Well, that's great, and I'll tell you, parents, if you have questions about any of this, or there's content that you would like us to explore in other languages or even other elective courses, please let us know. Again, Ms. Lieber will make herself available to you. This is really her area of specialty. She's very passionate about curriculum, and I think it's really important that you know that you've got a resource on our leadership team directly to help answer any of those questions. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. And thank you so much for tuning into the second segment. We hope you're finding these kind of monthly info sessions helpful. If there's content or questions that you have that you'd like us to talk about in the next segment in April, we're happy to do that. But look for highlights from all the happenings here on the Hill for the month of March in about 30 days. God bless.